Alright, so here we have my 2006 Duramax. I'm getting ready to do an oil change in it. I'm going to check the trans fluid, check the air filter, check the coolant level, do an oil change, and rotate the tires. And then I'll be doing the same on the Traverse. Rotating tires and doing an oil change, checking all the fluids. And that's it for this project. I think this jug is more full of water than it is full. Yeah, it's just all water. I don't know if you can see. I think this is a 17. Nope. Try 15. It's probably the 16. Right in between. Yeah, I know all that's there. My transmission's leaking. Needs to be rebuilt. Oh, this is gonna make a mess. It always does. Because there's all these... there's the torsion bar, and then there's this support for the lift kit. Okay, that actually came undone as easy as it's supposed to. So, pretty impressive. I'm gonna put that there. Dripping out onto the U-joint, which might be, this U-joint's new and the straps are new. The last one just decided to leave the chat for no reason. I used four-wheel drive for a week straight during the snowstorm here, and then I was in two-wheel drive for a month, or probably 2 weeks, not a month, but 2 weeks, and then switched it back to four-wheel drive one day because I was driving in my yard and it was wet, and the front drive shaft was just slopping around. Alright. Well, those drain. I'm gonna let them drain for a few minutes. You know what sucks is that whole time cleaning the garage, I didn't find the alligator clamp mount for the GoPro. I was really hoping I'd find that. It might be in my truck somewhere. It's a mess. Alright, so you're gonna hang out right there. I'm gonna open this, make sure that the oil can drain all the way out. Get that all out. So the coolant reservoir's over here, the air filter's over here. Everything else is okay. The transmission fluid, I checked it but forgot to record that. But you have to check it when it's running, so it's loud anyway. It's okay right now. It's leaking, but it's good for the moment. I think we can deal with that. It's got this sock over it. Oh no, that looks great. This was probably put on last oil change, so probably 7,500 miles ago. I'll replace them every 15,000, so it's pretty much every other oil change, or exactly every other oil change. This is a Whirly custom fab high flow kit. So it's the high flow kit goes to the turbo. The turbo is a tow turbo from Dan's Diesel Performance. It's I think it's a 68 millimeter, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. So the air intake and the intercooler piping, all of this is part of the Whirly Fab kit. And then you can see the turbo back in there. My little blue guy, I had that powder coated. Thought that was cool. And then it goes to a straight pipe 4-inch exhaust all the way back. Don't do what I'm doing. You should put jack stands under the rear, but I'm not, because YOLO, I guess. So when I rotate tires, the rears come straight up, so driver rear to driver front. The fronts switch sides, so the driver front, this one, is going to become the passenger rear. I'm not sure if there's like an issue with that, but it has worked for me very well. Sorry for the wind. While the tires are off, I'm looking for nails or screws or anything I could have gotten in between the lugs on the tires. I'm also looking at the wear on the tires. Like these tires are, I mean, they're low. They're real low. So while I have the front tires off, I'm going to go ahead and grease everything on the front end. I do that for every oil change, just to make sure everything's where it should be. It helps me get my eyes on stuff and hands on stuff, just to see and make sure that it's good. So what I'm putting grease on is the upper control arms. Try and bring you a little closer. So I'm greasing the upper control arms, the upper ball joint, lower ball joint, the tie rod ends on the outer and the inner. And that's everything that I think there is on this side of the truck. I don't know if you saw that, but I just pulled that out of my PCV vent. The oil's pretty much done draining, so I'm gonna go ahead and take these back two tires off and rotate them up, and I'll fill with oil and I'll adjust tire pressure. This is wet. Like, this is dry. You can tell this is darker. I don't know if you can tell in the video. That's wet. That means that I have a rear axle seal leak. The diff fluid, as it's splashing around, is running down the axle tube, lubricating the axle, and then it's coming out of the hub. It's not supposed to. So that's good to know about. I'm gonna go ahead and put the tires on anyway because I can't fix it today, so it's just something to keep in my mind that I need to replace that soon. So it's kind of wet here. So this means that maybe on my drive to work, which is about 1 hour and 15 minutes, it heated up the rear axle and it ran down here while it was leaking. So it's leaking through right here. It's not really wet anywhere else, so this has to be, it kind of goes from here around there, but this is where the main bulk of it is, because I can push my finger down and wipe through. Push my finger and wipe through, and it's right in the middle there, so it's been leaking right down here. So yeah, that's something I got to take care of. So one thing you're supposed to do, I don't want to sit here and say that you have to, but it would behoove you. You want to put oil around the seal. This is just a rubber gasket before you install it. So some people use old oil off the old filter. Man, it's windy. So you want to put oil around this gasket to make it seat and not leak. So the best thing to do is to take your oil jug, not do that, but there's a bunch of good oil right there on my leg now, so man, that's, of course there's dog hair in it now too. Can't get away from it. So I'm gonna go until it's tight. So that's hand tight. So I'm gonna go plus 1 whole turn. So my finger's here. Still dripping out some, but this PPE pan is designed to drain more oil out than the stock OEM pan. The OEM pan has like a ridge across it. I can't remember if it's front to back or side to side, but it does not drain fluid well at all. This pan also holds an extra quart, so instead of 10 quarts, I'm putting in 11. And then just get it on there good. I'll wipe it away. I'll get back under here and wipe it with a towel, just to make sure there's no leaks. So I like these wide mouth boys like that for oil. I bought 2.5 gallons, which is 12 quarts, so I'm not going to use all of it, but I'll use damn near all of it. Maybe I will use all of it, since I just put 1/2 quart on the serpentine belt. I'm going to run the truck, let it get up to temp, and then I'll recheck the oil. I'm going to move it out of the way